Let's take a broader look at the issue. Joining us on the news at 10 from our Abuja studio is the Managing Director, Bank of Infrastructure, Mr. Adekunle Onyiloye. I want to thank you so much indeed for coming on the news at this time. Is the China Exim Bank the only option for financing standard rail gauge network for Nigeria? What do you think?
Well, thank you very much, and thanks for having me. China, for now, is one of the few countries with enough reserve and the willingness to spend and particularly commit their capital to the development of other countries. Yes, they are not the only one, but interestingly, they have been the biggest friends of Africa at this moment. But I'm sure there are other countries across the world, particularly in the US and Canada, who are also equally willing. In fact, Germany, using their own Exim Bank too, and French using their Exim Bank are also equally available to spend. But interestingly, Chinese is the biggest spender at the moment.
So is that predicated on a lower interest rate, do you think?
Usually any ECA, which is Export Credit Agency finance projects, usually come with lower interest rate. Now, the interest rate as a factor is a function of so many things, but country-to-country borrowing, which is often done through the ECAs, are usually at a lower rate of interest, usually. They're lower than the commercial borrowing rates.
Now, this is what we know. Decaying infrastructure is one of the bane of development in Nigeria and especially railway system in the country. What do you think about the strides so far taken to make railway attractive for investors?
I think government is doing a whole lot in that direction. We are late in this particular development because if you recall, centuries back, almost 100 years ago, it was when we were last active in railway development. And the attempt was made to do what they call the new line, that is Itakpe to Warri. And lately, the one we have done successfully is Abuja to Kaduna and the metro within the city of Abuja. Railway is a major development, and I'm happy that government is paying attention to it now because it moves the greatest number of freight and people within a very environmental friendly space. I think we would need to do more because if we go by way of what we had planned to do, the National Integrated Infrastructure Master Plan, we were supposed to have started since 2014. We were supposed to have expended about $6 billion within that space. We haven't done anything. I think government should be commended for the step, but it should be more coordinated and more determined in ensuring that we have, a varied railway development in Nigeria.
Is that the whole cost, though, trying to fix this double standard gauge network system in the country? You said $6 billion to try to complete all of that. Will that also cover other links like Abuja, Itakpe, Kano, Kazaure, Katsina, and even other ones that are not even mentioned?
No, what I said was that was the plan for the rehabilitation of the existing lines. Was planned to have, commit about $6 billion between 2014 and 2018. We are currently in 2018. We haven't really done much in the rehabilitation. Most of the ones you're talking about, they are also part of the existing lines, but the ones that are being planned now will definitely be much more than that. What we require will be more than that. In fact, from 2000 up to 2023, we were expected to spend another $10 billion US. So it's all about calibration, it's about proper costing, but no investment in railway is ever too much because of the multiplier effect of it and the ease of movement. Most of the trailers you've seen on the road now will probably not have a space to ply the road again. They have no reason to be on the road, particularly for haulaging fuel and goods across the country. When we were growing up, we were not seeing trailers in the number we are currently seeing them. So no investment is ever too much in that direction.
You are indeed the Managing Director of the Bank of Infrastructure, and you're in charge there. And a lot of people will wonder what your role is trying to improve on that particular infrastructure. Apart from rail, for instance, you should be looking at other infrastructure developments. But let's focus on the rail. What are you doing about that?
Yes, it's interestingly, we're the Bank for Infrastructure, and that's the name. And we're working with the federal government and a number of state governments in ensuring that we bring core infrastructure to the table. We're also working with the three tiers of government in ensuring that even private capital join the resources of the public sector in the delivery of infrastructure. And what is TIB doing, you ask? Thank you very much for that question. In the city of Lagos, if you remember, Lagos planned 7 lines as a major mass transit solution for the city of Lagos. And any major modern city in the world, railway movement, railway transportation is key to it, and I really applaud the Lagos State attempt. We created, along with other investors, a consortium that bidded for the Red Line in Lagos, and that Red Line is a 37-kilometer metro that leaves Marina up to Agbado, which joins the corridors of Nigeria Railway.
I'm afraid that we're going to have to end it there. My sincere apologies. I'm afraid that we're going to have to end that very interesting discussion about the development and your scores, your strides in trying to improve on rail transportation in the country. Many thanks indeed, Mr. Adekunle Oyinloye, the Managing Director, Bank for Infrastructure.